There it is. All right. Yo and hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. This is the Father's Day of 2021 edition. I'm your keeper, Delahazed, and joining me, as usual, is Terry Diamantis.
Hey everyone.
How you doing today, bud?
Pretty good. I've been playing lots of Guilty Gear, and I impressed myself. There's a mission mode where it teaches you like the advanced tactics, and I actually got 80% of the way through, and I haven't looked at the final 20% yet, but I was surprised they made it that far, so I'm happy with that.
All right. And real quick, I just got word back from Johnny. He'll be able to join in a bit, so I told him to let me know when he can, and I'll send him the link then. And then real quick, I wanted to do a brief announcement that I noticed before the stream started. It's going to be a change in the schedule lineup regarding our keepers. Wednesdays are going to be switching from Sanguine's nights. He's no longer going to be doing Wednesdays. He's going to be taking over Fridays, and Wednesdays will be run by the 1 Ton Hammer. So that'll be something to keep an eye out there for folks. And a sad bit of news, and especially for a lot of people, Prospero is going to be stepping down, it seems. Real life's going to be taking a priority, which fair enough, but it's going to be a shame to lose her for Thursday night. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not quite sure what's going to happen there, but
okay, yeah, I was going to say, do we know who's replacing her?
Nope, but being told to give a link, so I assume we'll find out.
Okay. And I agree with Johnny, boo to reality.
Right? Reality fucking blows.
It really does. It also bites, according to the movie.
Yeah. Bites, blows, whatever. Probably does all the above and some. And yes, it is a sad, sad day in Minions history. I know, folks. But
yeah, I like Prospero. She's quite a very knowledgeable. She's interesting to listen to. It's going to be sad to see her stand down.
But on the bright side, that doesn't mean she's gone completely.
No, she can still guest on other people's streams. It's just the responsibility of hosting will be taken. She'll be stepping away from.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And never mind. And there's Hammer.
Evening, gentlemen.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
So I guess I was. This is an opportune moment to explain what's going on with the schedule.
Yes.
I just wanted to stop by to say hi, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm going to be talking about the schedule." Okay, that's fine. I mean, we had a meeting that somebody missed. Yeah, I mean, Prospero's got a lot of things going on in real life, so we all know real life takes precedence over the show, of course.
Of course.
But she's still going to be around. I mean, she'll still be appearing as guests from time to time, and if we need a Thursday, she's still around. I think her quote was, "She's not going to the Ace Hardware store for razor blades or anything."
Jesus.
I know, she's awesome. So yeah, she's still going to be around. She's just not going to be hosting Thursdays. So what we're going to do different than what we did with Friday. Friday we just left as like a catch as catch can kind of deal for a long time, and that really wasn't fair to the people who were watching because they couldn't count on a specific host on a specific day, at least for Friday. So we're looking to fill that vacancy with somebody else. So if you feel that you're qualified to host a stream on Minions and you're interested, get in touch with me or Reject so we can discuss.
Cool.
So there will be a permanent host. You all know that Sanguine is a host monster. So if somebody is not available, Sanguine will always be happy to host on Thursday nights. But we're looking to get someone in who wants to try their hand at something new. And if you don't know how to host, that's okay. I have a pretty good record for training people on how to host. So I can get you up to speed pretty quick.
Good.
Right on.
So that's the dealio.
Okay, because I was wondering because I heard Prospero's announcement that on her stream that she was standing down, but I never heard that a replacement was named. So I was very curious. I'm glad you cleared that up.
There's no replacement yet, and we have backup people too. I mean, you can
Of course,
back up, and Sanguine is happy to take the night outright. He'd be happy with doing 2 nights a week. So it's not like we're in any trouble or
of course
any
not.
lack of interest or anything like that. But we always want to, if somebody's out there who's like, I always wanted to do that. We're the place that you can get a start and make a name for yourself. So
It's funny. Sanguine is actually the reason I found the minions because, I loved his requests for ads that he sent to Scribe, and then I found out that he was one of the minions. Like, oh shit, I got to check this out. I didn't realize Sanguine was one of them.
Sanguine is he's an OG. He was original. He was part of the reason why minions even existed, because there was a point when the minions first started out that we had a hard time scheduling hosts because of different conflicts. People could be here, people couldn't be there, and Sanguine basically, after the first 3 months of me and Reject and Poppy, and I think there was 1 or 2 other people, Platty I think was in there, and maybe more. After a while, it got to the point where a lot of people were just kind of burned out trying to cover all the nights, and Sanguine just machine that he is just came in. He did 3 months every night straight.
Wow.
I know, it was crazy. I was like, everyone's like, dude, you're crazy, but he enjoyed it. And to this day, like I said, if you said, well, we need a host for Thursday, Sanguine's first guy there. He's awesome. It's the Spurgmeister himself. So we're not, like I said, we're not hurting. It's not that kind of situation where we're like, what are we gonna do? No, that's not anywhere near where we're at. We're very happy and very successful with what we're doing so far. And it's just a matter of whether or not you want the opportunity to assist in the show. So there's an availability. I should have actually done this for Friday. I should have said, hey, we got a Friday spot open, but I never did. I just figured everyone would be happy with switching out. And for the most part, people were. But then I realized later, what about the people who are watching? They have no idea who's going to be showing up on Thursday. It may not be a show they want to show up on. So they make plans. They go out there and oh, this is not who I'm looking for, kind of deal. Because everyone has a different show.
Well, that was kind of me. Before I became permanently booked on Fridays and I couldn't watch it because I'm doing the corner, when it was the game night, I just thought, okay, I won't watch the game nights because I didn't care. And then when it became rotating, it's like, it's too much of a gamble because, while there's no hosts that I don't like, there's certainly ones that I prefer. And it's if it's someone that I'm not really that interested in, I'd prefer to not have to log in to find out who's hosting and then decide, whether I want to watch it or not. So yeah, a permanent host would be great for someone like me who, who likes to know in advance.
Do you want to let anybody in on a secret?
What's that?
Do you want to let anyone in on a secret?
What do you mean?
About the Wednesday show?
Oh, right. I didn't know if we were announcing that or not yet.
But it's a secret, so you might want to. It's up to you. You want to tell them?
Yeah, I'm fine with letting people know that Hammer, Gen T, Maxi, and I will be hosting Wednesday nights going forward. That's why Sanguine is moving to Fridays, and yeah, we'll be doing that every week, the 3 of us.
I didn't know you were going to mention Jen. Hope she's ready for that.
Well, it sounded like she was on board.
Yeah, she is on board. She is on board. The Wednesday show is going to be 3 hosts, probably not any guests. It's just going to be the 3 of us hosting, and it's going to be me, Terry, and Jen will be hosting on Wednesday nights. That's going to be my show. So, but the show will go on even if I'm not there for one reason or another. Generally, my health is pretty good. That's always been a limiting factor. You never know what's going to happen in the future. But I'm the healthiest I've been in a couple of years, so I think we're in pretty good shape. But Terry and Jen will get some extra attention about how to host a show.
Yes.
But in case for some emergency I'm not there, the show can still go on. But yeah, it's going to be the three of us, no guests, a 1 hour show on Wednesday.
And I have to admit, I think an hour is a very good length for a stream. I think 2 hours can work if like there's enough conversation, but I generally prefer the shorter ones. So that's a good time span for my sort of tastes.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least to begin with, it's going to be an hour. It really depends on how much interaction we have. If we get a lot of people who are giving us a lot of reasons to discuss things longer, it will go a little longer. But I don't really want to do a 2 hour show.
And Cryptic's saying the same. An hour is perfect. Yeah, I think an hour is a good length for a stream. I'm pretty good with that.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's not going to happen tomorrow. Well, I mean, it's not going to happen this Wednesday, I should say. But in a few weeks, things are going to change around. So we just want everyone to know, all of the people who are listening to know first ahead of time, so that you can make sure not to come out Wednesdays.
Jen's not that bad.
Okay. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be a fun night.
Yes, it will.
So, sorry, Del, I didn't mean to come over and take over the show on you.
That's fine.
So what's on the schedule for tonight?
Well, we've got Johnny Hellcat with us.
Hey, there's Johnny.
Oh.
Figured we'd all just converse a bit, and I'm probably going to indulge in a bit of gaming with some hacked Pokemon ROMs.
Hey, Johnny.
How's it going, Hammer?
I'm doing good.
What
the hell's on the screen? What is that?
So, as I was telling Terry before the stream started, I've been dabbling with some hacked ROMs lately. One of them being all of them based on Pokemon Fire Red. This one in particular replaces all the Pokemon with characters from Dragon Ball Z.
I think you'll find it's pronounced Z.
Yes, you're right. Well, normally I'd agree with you, but the show specifically pronounces it Z instead of Z, so I'm going to disagree with you on this one, but you're entitled to your opinion.
No, but as a kid, I always did call it Dragon Ball Z because, one, I never watched it, so I never found out that they insisted that it was pronounced a special way, but just I saw it on TV, and it's like, oh, Dragon Ball Z, and I never thought twice about it.
Yeah, so they even changed the landscape a bit and some of the backgrounds to look more like the Dragon Ball Z theme. Like this has got the Namek theme for the planet Namek.
Okay,
it's a nice touch. Like even like the map itself, like the traveling map is this part right here is Namek theme too. So that's pretty cool. And then Namek Town, bunch of Namekians walking around.
Mm-hmm. I think I've mentioned this before, but my entire knowledge of Dragon Ball comes from playing the fighting game, Dragon Ball Fighters. And that one stream that we did where you explained Dragon Ball to me so that I could understand the game I was playing.
Right. Look, we've even got Luigi in here.
What's Luigi doing there?
I don't know, but he seems to be in a lot of these hack ROMs, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. It did work out well that you told me that thing about the guy who got trapped as a frog, because there was a reference to it in the game that I would not have understood if I had not previously discussed that with you.
Nice. All right. So a couple examples, like we've got Vegeta, one of the starter ones that I picked. Bunch of the more well-known characters and villain from first season here. I'm going to drop off you.
Okay, so I don't know who that guy you just dropped off was, but the rest I recognize from the game.
That one would have been Tien Shinhan, Triclops, the only Triclops in the series.
Okay. The rest of them are all names and drawings that I recognize. But yeah, that guy, I don't think he either wasn't in the game or I stopped before I got to him.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job with the sprites. And Just as I thought, like earlier today I was playing, and when like Vegeta, he started out in his base form and now he's in his Super Saiyan form because he's evolved, which is what you'd expect in something like this.
It's a good touch.
It is. How you been doing there, Johnny? Anything new going on?
Not much. I mean, kind of a change at work. We've gone from we're going to be, instead of doing like part day calls, we're going to do full day. So it's kind of taking the training wheels off the work thing. And yeah, it's going to be a little nerve wracking, but it's that's part of the change. So.
How was your Father's Day? Did the kids treat you well?
About as good as normal.
So nice.
So gave you hell.
Yeah, per usual.
Good kids.
Now my youngest, we were playing, and they were playing in the water yesterday. It was pretty warm, so they started playing with the hose, and somehow my son's blood sugar dropped down to 60.
Oh,
he was at like 180 when they started, but I think it's just because of the fact that it is, of course, cold water. And he's like, he was starting to get like really sick, really tired, and I'm like, oh yeah, something's definitely going on here. But yeah, it was. We got him up and warmed up, and then he went back to playing in the water.
Classic.
So do they have Dragon Ball specific attacks, or are they like just the usual Pokemon ones?
Oh no, they're actually Dragon Ball character, like at least for the ones I've seen so far, they're themed attack like punch, kick, karate chop, and then even the attacks they learn, like they're like for Vegeta right now. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so Big Bang attack, Gallic Gun, and Final Flash. Those are actually attacks of his from the series.
Okay, cool.
But that's also, they went pretty well into detail on this. I gotta appreciate that.
Now, are they just doing like the weaknesses type stuff, or is it like just fight until someone gets knocked out?
I'm not really sure. When I play these games, I tend to have a system of leveling up to a certain degree, then go try and progress until I need to level up again, and then I have set degrees of levels that I need to be at before I move on, kind of thing, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of grinding because I'm at a point where my set level wasn't good enough. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, trying to grind and get more of my guys up to where my main one is, so that I can go face the second gym.
Can you do that thing where they like combine to become like a super form? Like there was
fusion.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would imagine that the fusion form is potentially an evolution or a Pokemon of itself.
Okay.
That you could get.
Because yeah, in the fighting game, you couldn't do it. They were like the fused characters were separate, so you could play. I'll probably get the names wrong, but there was like Gohan, Vegeta, and then Gogeta was like a separate character entirely.
Right.
Goku, Vegeta, and then Gogeta. And
that's how the mobile games would treat it.
Yeah, like. Yeah, it was a different setup. Now, in the earlier games, like the Budokai franchise for Dragon Ball, they had they had it where you could actually use the fusion technique in the fights, but
okay.
it was a much more free range fight system, like 3D movement capabilities and stuff, as opposed to the 2D side scroller style. But yeah, what it would do is a character who was capable of fusion would. If you used the move, it would just do a cutscene while they did the fusion technique, and you became that person for a certain time frame.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cryptic says Vegito. It's actually pronounced Vegemite.
Well played, sir.
It's a great sandwich topping, but yes, I must insist that you spell it correctly.
Well, I went and nicknamed him, so that solves that problem altogether.
Yeah. Nail.
No.
There's one really annoying character. It was like this big pink blob.
Just one?
Oh, well, I mean, more than the rest. There was I forget the name of it. Something Boo.
Majin Buu.
Yeah, pain in the ass. Hated that character.
Yeah, which one? The fat one?
Big fat one.
The evil one, the gray evil one, or the kid one?
It was a big fat one that was like a retarded kid.
Yeah. Guess what? That's the one they kept around.
Well, that was a poor decision.
I don't know. He has his moments.
Well, as long as he has them away from me.
Fair enough. Always loved that weird dynamic he and Hercule developed. It's like, the guy tried to manipulate and use you, right? And then, no, he blew best friend.
There was an android that was really cool. I think it was 16. Because he could just blow himself up. Like that was his attack. That was his super move. He blew himself up.
Yeah.
And it was
the ginger one, right?
What's that?
The ginger one with the mohawk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his super move was he blew himself up, and it was an instant kill. Like if it touched the enemy, even if they had full health, they died. But so did he. He had like 1 hit point left at the end of the move.
Ooh.
I did like using that against the computer. Just charge in, blow yourself up, get a free kill. Apparently he's like really, really crap if you use him like at a high competitive level, but I was never going to do that. So I'm happy with my scrubby run in blow up technique.
That's fair. I always liked Majin Buu's ability to turn people into candy.
Oh, there was an android 21, I think, in the game that could do the same thing.
Yeah, she was based off his DNA, so that makes sense.
Okay. There's too many androids where the only difference is a number. Like they're all completely different characters, but they're just android number.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I forgot he does that. Yeah. They started out in the Dragon Ball series back when Goku was a kid. His main weapon deployed by the Red Ribbon Army to try to do their bidding and stuff like that. Or at least one of them. And this is where I'm going to die.
But no, Frieza was one of the characters that I really liked because he reminded me of Mewtwo. It was basically like a human Mewtwo.
Yeah.
It was like, this is cool. I'll use this guy.
Jeez. Wait, did I actually win this one?
Looks
yes! Finally. So all I had to do was send the weak ones out first this time.
Cannon fodder.
Yeah. Well, before I was starting off with my strong guy, and then when that failed, well, might as well send the others. So that's why I was trying to go
level grind.
Yeah, but I don't have the patience for that, so fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Grind 1, but not 6.
It depends.
What is that?
Was that?
Patience? What is that?
I actually like level grinding if the combat itself is fun. So I find it kind of I don't know. It's just a way to kill time is just like run backwards and forwards in the grass and then just attack, beat up whatever comes out. It gets boring eventually, but just
Oh yeah.
and half an hour to an hour if I've got nothing better to do. It's like, it's pretty chill. It's sort of relaxing.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little disappointed too because I saw one creature that I wanted to get earlier today when I was playing this, but I can't go back to the cave I was in before I got here yet, or at least not yet. So, because the way back is blocked off, so that's unfortunate. Hopefully, I'll run into it again in the future. But
well, most Pokemon games, you'll get something like Fly that lets you go back to previous areas anyway. So, I would expect that eventually you can go back.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go heal just to be safe.
Jen says he can't handle raspberry schnapps. Throw a bottle at him. Not sure who that is that she's talking about, but there's some advice from chat.
Throw a bottle at who?
Him. It is unspecified who him is.
Huh. Alrighty then. Oh, he's got Slug? That's awesome.
Oh, apparently she's quoting the abridged version. So
Who is?
Jen, that the raspberry schnapps thing is a reference to the abridged version of Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
So maybe I thought maybe that might clarify something because I've not seen either. Abridged nor full version of Dragon Ball.
The only abridged series of Dragon Ball I know anything about would be the Team 4-Star version. Okay. And that, as I recall, ended after the Cell Saga finished.
And that's where you got the all these squares make a circle from, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. I was trying to think if I was thinking of the right thing, but yeah. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. Okay, what's wrong with him? He just, don't mind him. He just got done downing a gallon of acid. What? No, I'm serious. A literal gallon. I don't even know where he gets it from. Kami, please tell me I'm allowed to leave the lookout. Mr. Popo, you can leave the lookout anytime. Bitch, don't tell me what to do. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. It's a great series. Good for laugh.
And Mr. Yes just says nail. Which,
nail.
I'm guessing the reference to the show.
Yeah, that would be the big fat Namekian, big fat green guy does that a lot while Nail is standing out protecting him kind of thing. It's like, Nail, I just saw a bird. It was pretty. Kick its ass.
Jen says she tried so hard to get Satsu to use a Mr. Popo emoji for his chats. Okay, that's pretty funny.
Oh. Hey, I got a nugget. Why would I want to join Team Pilaf? I love that too. The Team Rocket is Emperor Pilaf's gang.
Oh, okay. I don't know who Pilaf is, but I'm guessing from context.
He's an old school villain from the Dragon Ball series once again, back when Goku was a kid. Okay. He wanted to, I forget what it was he wanted to wish for. I think it was like world domination, but he ended up getting wished back. Him and his two cronies get wished back to the younger state. So they had to regrow from kids again. And the Team Rocket Grunts are all shaped like Shu, I believe his name is, the ninja dog. What's Saiyan power do? Oh, okay. Good to know. It's useless. It's almost poetic using Vegeta to kill Nappa. And for those of you who don't know, in the series, Vegeta does kill Nappa.
Oh, okay. The VA for Nappa in Abridged is streaming right now, according to Cynic. So if the VA for Nappa is streaming on Twitch, I hope he has nice tits, because otherwise he's not going to get an audience.
Vegeta! And I totally killed that guy. At least we had some fun. Right, Vegeta? 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 Dead. I like the voices they gave some of the characters. Just purposely obnoxious for no reason but comical effect. Nappa being one of them. Although, take away the comical aspect, it was pretty fucking close if I remember correctly.
Okay, apparently he's a VTuber, so...
Oh, good for him.
So I hope his VTube avatar has nice tits then, because he's going to need him to be on Twitch.
If I was ever to stream on Twitch, I would be a VTuber too.
I mean...
I don't think I would ever go back to Twitch. I think if I wanted to watch, discount my free cams, then, I'd go to my free cams. I wouldn't go to Twitch.
There was a guy I was talking to when the whole hot tub thing started, and this guy, he's in the military, and when I do kickboxing with him, so when he kicks the pads that I'm holding for him, I can feel my arms shaking when they hit. And so I went to him just like, hey, how do you feel about trying to make money? And he goes, well, it depends on what we're doing. And I go, you just stand in the hot tub with your skivvies and some pasties on your nips. And he goes, is that all I got to do? And I'm like, well, I answer stupid questions, but yeah. And he goes, I might be down for that.
I mean, if
He's
Twitch
like, how much money are you taking? I'm like, not as much as you, apparently.
I mean, if Twitch allows it, then they're not doing anything wrong. It's just Twitch has no idea about preserving its own reputation, because no one thinks of it as a video game platform anymore. It's just where the whores hang out.
Well, I mean,
literally,
they moved it into their own section as a way to try to contain it. But then everybody who was doing it moved over to ASMR.
Yeah. And
now they're doing stuff on ASMR that's as bad, if not worse, than what they were doing in their hot tub streams. So they banned Amaranth and what was the other girl? Kitty something?
Indie Fox.
Indie Fox, yeah. They banned both of them. So,
but I'm reading today. I read something today. Apparently, it was only a 3-day ban, which doesn't shock me, considering one's on her 5th and the other's on her 4th ban.
Yeah, it's just a long weekend.
Yeah, that's what one of them said too. It's like, oh, Twitch gave us the weekend off because we're working so hard.
They can't keep pushing it. Eventually, Twitch is going to say, okay, we've had enough of you.
As long as they're bringing in money, I don't think Twitch cares.
Well, they'll push it too far eventually if they're not careful. There are limits to where it doesn't matter how much money you bring in.
I mean, I'd like to believe you.
I have to believe that, Terry. I have to.
Oh, how naive you are.
They would have been gone a long time ago if it was me. I'm no prude, but if you're going to be a dick about it, then you deserve what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just be honest with what you're doing. I mean, that's my number one right there.
See, I don't have a problem with the sexy stuff. It's just that I think if you claim that you're a video game streaming service, video gaming should be mandatory, not just as a oh, by the way, there's a small, 50% picture of Fortnite in the top left corner. You should be playing a game as the primary activity if you've branded yourself as a gaming service.
Mhm.
And I think, Twitch should have enforced it. They should have said, the fuck is this ASMR shit? What game is that? Get off.
I got banned from an ASMR chat.
How'd you do that?
I asked if she left teeth marks on the microphone. And apparently someone in her MotZ didn't like that. So
Oh no!
I mean,
Not the Mod Squad.
I mean, you sound like you're deep throating a mic. Come on.
Probably was.
Exactly what it's supposed to do. Yeah. The thing is, they've made it clear that their intention is to ruin Twitch.
Yeah.
We said it more than once. And I'm sorry, but if your intention is to ruin my platform, you can't be on my platform.
That seems like a reasonable standard.
Yeah, I thought so.
No, I mean, I think Twitch should have said, this is a gaming service. You have to be playing a game. I mean, even if you want to sexy it up, as long as you're actually playing a game and the game is the primary focus, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. No nudity, of course, but, just sexy it up if you want, that's fine. But gaming should be the focus if you're branded as a gaming service. Just either say, yeah, we don't care about gaming, we found that there's more money in softcore porn, or kick the horse off the service.
So there's no definitive standard or way of separating sexy from whorish. You can't say, well, this is this and this is that because of this fact. You can't really do that. There is no way to just you know when you see it.
No, but I would say as long as the game is like, the game has to be the primary focus by what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So if you're playing in a bikini, sure, whatever. But as long as if someone goes to your stream, it should be because you're playing a game, not because you're farting into a microphone while half naked.
Jesus Christ!
I gotta admit, it was a pretty epic fart, though.
I didn't listen to the part. I heard about it.
It was beefy, that's for sure.
That was the fart of a man who spends too much time at Taco Bell.
Oh god.
So he just went through the drive-through once.
It was just like, wow, that kind of a girl. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that kind of stuff, there's plenty of platforms to do it. It's just that they realize that Twitch has a lot of horny gamers who can't get laid. They figured it's prime hunting ground.
Twitch is their advertising platform for their OnlyFans account. That's what it's come down to now.
Yeah, same with Instagram. Instagram is basically an ad for OnlyFans at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you can't really do anything about that either, because how many people advertise their StreamYards while they're doing podcasts? Right? Isn't that kind of the same thing? You're advertising another service on the service that you're currently on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why YouTube doesn't like it. They don't like you shilling your Streamlabs because they want people using Super Chat. They don't want people...
They used to stop it. They don't stop it anymore, but...
I think they realized it was a lost fight. They couldn't compete.
Yeah. People find a way to get around it.
Yeah, people were saying, look, by the rules, I can't ask you to use Streamlabs instead of Super Chat. But
yeah. However, if you decided you wanted to.
But I can't tell you not to use it either.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a link on my webpage.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm going to be clicking my mouse like this. If something gets donated, it's your own fault.
I'm just going to start rotating my arms like a windmill and walking forward. If you so happen to get hit, that's not my fault.
Exactly.
What would happen is, the way I understood it, is someone would link the actual Streamlabs count, and YouTube's algorithm would delete the link. So they started using the link shorteners.
Yeah, bit.ly was the freaking one.
Yeah, then the algorithm started following the link to see if it ended up in StreamYards, and if it did, it would delete the shortcut line too.
Mm-hmm.
So people started linking to innocuous websites that had links to their StreamYard.
Yeah.
So eventually they just lost the fight. So they was like, all right.
I mean, the problem is the rule breakers are always going to be a step ahead of the rule enforcers. It's just the way it works.
Follow me on Twitter. It's got my Streamlabs thing on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Convenient coincidence, isn't it?
Check my pinned comment.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. From what I hear, YouTube takes quite a massive cut out of donations that Streamlabs doesn't. So, I mean, I understand why people have their rather strong preference for how they receive donations. Like,
so isn't it like 30%?
Yes, it is.
For Super Chat. I think it's only like 5% for StreamYards. Isn't it really cheap? There is a value.
It's a pretty
low number.
Big difference.
Yeah.
But see, what I think YouTube should have done is take a smaller cut. If they wanted to compete with Streamlabs, rather than their vain effort to stop people from linking to their donation site, just make it so it's less desirable for people to seek outside ways of receiving donations.
If they would have matched the price, people won't. The extra hassle isn't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, and heaven forbid you say something spicy.
Yes. I mean, I use Super Chat by preference because it's convenient, but then 99% of what I would try to say, YouTube won't let me. So it's like, all right, I tried.
You have to use euphemisms.
Or just go to Streamlabs.
Yeah, you see it on whatchamacallit, on some of these channels on a regular basis. They don't use the N-word. They say Joggers, joggers.
Yeah.
Instead of using the N-word. Everyone knows what they're saying, but the word joggers is not a bad word. So they can get away with saying it, you know?
Well, I saw one podcast, because apparently firearms is a bad word.
Oh, you're kidding me.
For YouTube. So they said it was like burning limbs or something like that. Like
burning limbs.
but they made like a gun with their fingers to indicate what they were trying to get across.
That's classic. Burning limbs.
Yeah, it's utterly absurd, the rules that YouTube has over what you're allowed to say. Like, I can understand certain things they don't want people to say. Like, I get it if you don't want the N-word sort of plastered all over your chat. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But remember when they banned honk? Like, you couldn't say honk in chat because the implication of clown world. I was like,
right.
Oh no. Shut that down.
Clown world. That was fun.
Yeah. I find I often just split it up over two lines. So if I wanted to say the N-word, for instance, I'd put NIG, hit enter, and then finish the word on the next chat so that it doesn't actually detect that I said something naughty.
You can always get around the bot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Humans are always going to be more creative than an algorithm ever can.
That's what Amaranth's doing. She's getting around, quote unquote, the rules.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said,
I can't masturbate myself on a banana. Well, let me just fillet this microphone.
But no, I mean, I've always said that the girls aren't the ones doing the wrong thing. Twitch is allowing it, so I mean, they've seen a way to make money following the rules. Let them do it. It's just I think Twitch should have been a lot more strict about what it lets on its platform.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with things like separate channels. Like if you want to do an IRL stream, you know, I used to be a big fan of Ice Poseidon, so I used to like to watch his IRL streams. They're kind of fun. So I don't mind having that kind of stuff on the channel, but when it gets to be Pornhub, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, actual porn sites have better looking girls wearing less clothing. So using Twitch for porn is a ludicrous concept to me. And Jenny's saying, what was that quote? It's $5. Yeah, that was just like, well, there were two. There was one that was saying it's $5. It's $5. You can afford it. And there's the other one saying that if you don't have $5, you shouldn't be watching Twitch. You should be working to make the $5 so you can subscribe to me.
That's what happens when you're making buttloads of money just by being quote unquote unsexy. You get entitled.
Yeah, no.
It's just a 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like if you get away with being entitled, you're not going to stop.
It's like, worse. Yeah.
1 + 1 = why aren't you giving me money?
Yeah, for her 1 + 1 = 5.
Yeah. There are $5.
I was just kidding.
I figured Hammer would appreciate that.
I
don't know much about Star Trek, but I know that quote.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, if it was up to me, she would have been gone a long time ago.
Oh, for sure.
Because she's directly threatening the stream. It's just...
Well, if someone has explicitly stated that they're trying to subvert or destroy the platform, then you don't have to host that.
No. I mean, you don't have to host anybody.
Exactly.
You specifically don't have to host that. That's for sure. I mean, what are they going to do? They come to you. Well, they banned me. Yeah, and well, I want back on. No.
I mean, the best they can do is try and claim the free speech. It's like, no. You don't get the free speech to, destroy someone else's work. That's not how it works. Like, if it was the government saying, no, you can't do this, then sure. But if it's Twitch, it's just said, no, we're not having this on our service.
You're in my building. You're on my private property.
Yeah.
I decide what happens to my private property. Free speech only applies to what the government can and cannot do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with Twitch saying, we don't want your kind here. Look, to be honest, I mean, to be honest, I would also be okay. I would also be okay if they looked at like Jack Gunsky's stream, which I'm on every week and I love it. But if YouTube said, "We finally saw this thing," no.
I don't see how he's still on YouTube. I really don't. Some of the things you guys say on that show, I'm like, oh my god.
Well, exactly.
Under the radar.
But if YouTube said, "We actually saw this stream," no, you're banned. Get out of here. I'd be like, yeah, that's fair enough. I'd be upset that I lost the stream, but I mean, I'd understand.
I'm shocked that someone random hasn't just stumbled upon that and just been like, yeah, I think this needs to be reported.
Well, I mean,
I'm really surprised
the stream gets shared on Twitter, so it's not like we're secret about it.
The thing is, the show is hilarious. It is. So, I mean...
Well, and it's been established that we pretty much do that stuff just because it makes Jack Gunsky uncomfortable.
Yeah. But,
well, not like heavily uncomfortable, but enough.
Yeah. No, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the whole point of the stream is that, nothing's off limits. If you sign up to be on the stream, you generally know in advance what you're signing up for. So you can't really get too upset if, someone says something you don't like. It's like, well,
First time I was on the stream, I had no idea. The first time I was like, oh my God, what are these people doing?
But I also understand if someone doesn't want to be on the stream because of the kind of content that it has. It's like, no, I get it. This makes a lot of people really uncomfortable, and if that's not for you, that's understandable. Don't do the stream if you would be upset by the kind of stuff that frequently gets said on it.
Here's the thing, Jen. Jen mentioned in chat, would be interesting to know how many underage kids watch that shit, though. Because there's the thing YouTube has leaky shits for months because of that kind of thing. Leaky shits. I've never heard that term before. But the thing about Twitch is that their cutoff point is 13 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, YouTube's the same.
Yeah, and the thing that I have a problem with here is not that 13-year-olds can watch this. I think that's wrong, but that's not the big deal. My big deal is 13-year-olds can create this content. It hasn't happened yet, but imagine a 13-year-old doing a hot tub stream.
That's true.
Oh my God.
And there would be no grounds for Twitch to ban it if they've allowed adults.
If Amaranth can do it,
yeah,
then some 13-year-old girl in a teeny tiny little, oh my God, that's sickening. It's literally sickening.
It's nauseating thinking about it.
Yeah, it is. It's very disturbing. But I mean, this is the bed that Twitch has made for itself.
It's going to have to come down to that. That's going to have to happen for them to take a stand. It has to get that bad.
I mean, it would not only have to happen, it would have to happen and catch the attention of the world at large.
It wouldn't be hard to catch the attention. All you have to do is bring it to the attention of somebody like Pokimane or something like that, and boom, it would just blow the fuck up.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is it wouldn't be enough just to have it happen. It would have to be noticed. Like, if some random 13-year-old did it and no one noticed, then, it's not going to get stopped.
If one person sees it, though, all they have to do is turn to somebody who's big, go to Aspen Gold or whoever, go to somebody big on the platform and XQC and say, look at this. Because he's just going to, once he gets his eyes on it, holy crap.
I don't know much about Asmongold. I've seen like one or two of his YouTube videos. Streamer. Oh, that explains it. I saw a couple of his videos where he was complaining about Twitch, like the thought problem, so to speak.
Let's be careful.
I didn't know what he was like. His main content was.
Yeah, no, he's a World of Warcraft streamer. He's a really good player. I mean, as being a former World of Warcraft player myself, I'm like, wow, this guy's really good.
There was a guy, I can't remember his name, the greatest paladin in the world, who was he had his own like show about how great he was, and like it turns out he actually was like the #1 paladin in World of Warcraft. I thought he was just making shit up for the show, but he was a real player apparently. Let me see if I can find him. Because his girlfriend was actually a politician for like the No Party, which is like the uber libertarian, almost anarchist party.
Wow.
Athene, that's his name. Athene, the greatest paladin in the world. And his girlfriend was Tanya, and they had this weird show. It was just him bragging about how awesome he was, basically. But Well, I was surprised. He's a real guy. He's really top of the leaderboard, or was at the time.
There was a excuse me. There was a guy in our guild who was a paladin. So excuse me, I have a bit of a tickle. There was a paladin in our guild for about a year who went on to be in one of the big guilds on World of Warcraft, and he was an amazing tank. He was such an amazing tank that he can wear tank gear and still be a good healer. And for all you people who don't know much about World of Warcraft, when you chose your spec for your character, the gear that you held kind of matched that spec. So if you're going to tank, be the one taking all the damage and receiving all the healing, all of your equipment that you would wear would be all equipment designed for tanking.
Yeah.
But he would just be able to just keep the exact same equipment, respec, healer, and heal in his tanking gear and be effective. It was just jaw-dropping how good he was.
It's yeah. I mean, I've never played World of Warcraft. Oh no, I did for about 20 minutes because my brother was like
20 minutes.
No. Yeah, my brother was like, "Oh, here you can use my account." Like, all right. So I started a new character. I was like, "Okay, kill 20 boars." Really? All right. So I did that, and it was like, "All right, I'm sick of this already."
Yeah, it's a very common perception for people starting the game that they think World of Warcraft is about the leveling process. It's not. You have to endure the leveling process to get to the end game. That's where the fun is.
No, I've heard that, and honestly, the beginning of the game was so tedious that I was just like, "Fuck it, I don't care. I'm not interested in getting to level 60 just to enjoy this game."
Yeah, if you're gonna play, the best thing you do above everything else is play with somebody. That's the best thing, because the game is much easier. You have somebody to talk to while you're playing. You can have fun, do strategies. There's all kinds of things you can do when you have somebody to play with you. When you're playing by yourself, it's kind of like, it's not really a one-player game. It's the whole idea to play with other people. But
see, I go solo or go home. I only do single player unless it's a game like Among Us where it is literally impossible to play a single player game because that doesn't make sense.
I'd rather play with somebody as long as it was a cooperative type of play. I will not PvP under any circumstances in any game at all ever. Just won't do it. I think that's just measuring your dick. I don't really have time for that childish bullshit. But if you can work together as a team to get somewhere, get Terry.
I'm fine with competitive play, but there I would only be interested in 1v1. I don't like teams. I want to be the sole determinant of my success.
So you're saying you want to be the very best?
Like no one ever was. But no, like if I do a terrible job, if I play absolutely dreadfully, I don't want to win because the rest of my team carried me. That would horrify me. And similarly, if I'm playing brilliantly, I don't want to lose because the rest of my team is a bunch of dipshits. I want my performance to dictate my outcome. So I have to be on a team of one. If you want to go 1v1, I'm happy to play competitively.
Wow.
Or if it's a game like Among Us or Jackbox where, fuck it, no one's really playing to win. It's just dicking around. Then that's fine too.
Yeah.
But
it's almost totally opposite of me. I'd rather have a friend go to the movies with me than go to the movies by myself. There's something about going to the movies and hearing the entire audience cheer when something happens that adds to the excitement of the movie.
Yeah, I guess. I just.
You mean like when the credits roll?
What's that?
Usually when people are cheering, if they've enjoyed the movie, they usually cheer during the credits rolling.
I can't stand it when they cheer when the credits roll.
Because the people that they're cheering for can't hear the cheering?
Mostly, yeah. I mean, it's just like you are. Congratulations! I watched a Star Wars movie. Like, I don't care. Like,
Hey man, that's a big feat these days.
It's still a
these
thought that
days now.
counts.
I don't know. I'm just not. I don't think I'm so sentimental about movies that I need to cheer at the end of this movie.
Showing appreciation for something is not a bad thing. Even if the person that you're trying to show appreciation to can't see it, it's still a good thing in your heart to say, "Hey, you guys gave me something I really like. Thank you." Well, how can I do that? Well, the only thing I can really do is just clap my hands.
See, I envy the people who can feel that strongly, because like if I watch a movie, I'm not going to cheer at the end of the movie. I'm just going to be like, okay, that was cool, or even, man, that was a great movie. But I'm not going to feel driven to applaud. I just don't feel that strongly. And even with video games, I don't feel compelled to applaud brilliant video games either. It's just I don't have that in me.
It's a very common thing. If you go out to YouTube and type in end game audience reaction, there's at least 150, 200 clips out there of audio reactions all around the globe, everywhere, China, everywhere, of the end game, the end of the movie, where when Thor shows up in the Infinity War or in Endgame, or just certain scenes where it's just like, yeah, you can hear the cheering in the crowd, and they just go crazy.
Well, like I'll use for an example in Endgame. Spoilers, everyone. When the hammer goes back and Captain America picks it up.
Oh my God.
There wasn't a person in the movie theater who did not be like, oh shit! Like, I mean, even I was kind of like, woo! Like, it's just a brief, you get into it.
Yeah.
But at the end, I wasn't like, oh! Like, I couldn't bring myself to
that was a tie-in from Infinity War when they're all having their little get-together between, they just got Loki's thing back, and they're all celebrating the end of their campaign to get Loki's sword back or whatever, and they're all having that thing, and Natasha and Bruce are flirting, and that whole process is going on. They get to the point where everyone tries to lift Thor's hammer, and of course I have this digitally in 4K, and if you go back and look, when Cap tries to lift the hammer, it moves a little bit.
I had to go back and watch it like 100 times because
very little tiny bit, just as if it wasn't completely, like it was resting on a piece of sand kind of deal. It just kind of shifts a little bit for a very small second. And if you look, the shot is from the height of the table past the hammer with Thor in the background. Look at his face.
Yep. He's nervous. He's nervous.
That's right. He thought it was going to get lifted. So this is
and he's like, it was nothing.
And then he plays it off.
Yeah.
So people were like, did I just see that? People who were in the audience who didn't have a digital copy.
And it was very blink and you missed it.
Oh yeah.
And if you're in the movie theater and everyone's like, oh, and everyone's like, no, what did I miss? Like,
I have it in 4K, and I'm frame advancing with VLC, one frame at a time, forward, backward. I'm like, and I was like, God damn, it moved.
It was so slight.
It was I watched like before he actually tried to pick it up. It's like when he put his hand through the wrist strap was when it, kind of deal. It wasn't like it didn't move when he initially just grabbed it. It moved before he tried to actually lift it. Like when he was getting ready to lift it, that's when it moved. So it's like easy to miss. But you're right. Every audience because I've seen the movie 4 or 5 times in the theater, and I've watched it probably another 10 times at home. The crowd just goes crazy at those moments. And it increases your enjoyment of it. I think for me, it increases my enjoyment of the movie when everybody else is expressing the same thing that I'm already feeling. Shared experience. There's some kind of psychological thing about shared experience. That's why people go on dates to the movies, is so it's a shared experience.
See, I've just accepted that I'm extremely asocial and atypical when it comes to these things. Like,
You're not, because you're sitting here talking to us.
well, no, but in terms of
Real life.
my hobbies, like,
Oh.
like I will play single player in fighting games where most people are like, the entire point is to play other people, and then they shouldn't have put a single player mode in because I'm playing that. I mean, I'm happy to play against my friends if my friends want to. I mean, I've played Blaze Blue against Johnny on stream, but
And he murdered me several times.
but
I know how that goes.
I'm quite content with the single player mode. If anyone wants to play against me, it's like I'm happy to do that. It's just I'll never be the one to suggest it because I have single player. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. There is a middle ground between you're going to lose because you have a shitty team and your team's going to carry you. There is always the middle ground of I'm equal to everybody else, and because I'm equal to everybody else and everyone else did a good job and worked together as a team, we were able to be successful. That's kind of the best place to be if you can get there.
No, I get that. It's just that the possibility of the two extremes is a big deterrent because I want my performance to dictate my outcome. If I play terribly, I want to lose. I want to lose bad because I deserve to lose if I'm playing badly. If I'm playing well, I want to win. I don't want that victory taken away from me because I happen to be teamed up with.
Could have had him. We could have had him. You guys suck.
Yeah, exactly.
I've certainly been there. I'll be playing Heroes of the Storm. I'm not a bad player. I've been playing for 2 years now. I'm not a bad player, and I've gotten into groups where I'm pretty much playing by myself. You got 4 other people on my team have no clue whatsoever, and we lose. I'm like, you got to take that bite, you know. It's like, could have won. I had one other person to help me.
I will say that playing against friends is very different to playing against strangers. So I'm far more willing to, like, if you know, Della said, "Hey, I found a 2-player Pokemon game. Want to play with me?" Like, sure, I'll do that. I'm happy to hang out with my friends. It's just that when I think of video games, I think of a solo experience.
So if we were to get together and play a game, would you play with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would see it more as hanging out with friends.
Well, that's kind of the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the game would be
secondary.
The main reason I do Quippers is to hang out with Jack Frosted, Moonshock, and everyone else that's there. It's not to play Quiplash.
Yeah. But what game would we play?
I mean,
that's like most of the games there, I don't think we ever take seriously.
Yeah, and like that's
good.
If I were to play like a fighting game like Blaze Blue, I would take it seriously, and I think that would kind of take away from the hanging out. Like if you suddenly care who wins, then it becomes less hanging out and more, directly competitive.
Yeah.
Which is why I was trying very, very hard not to keep score while I was playing with Johnny, because I didn't want it to turn into that.
I was. I'm like, I just want one. That's all I'm looking for.
Well, you won a couple.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of glad I did because when it's and to go back to an old story, I think I told you with Mortal Kombat. I think it was Deadly Alliance. The guy he had the game, and the guy was like really, really damn good. And I beat him once, and he took it so personally that it just made it not fun to even be there.
I got dropped into a game that I had never played before, and somebody organized a game between me and another person, and I had never seen the game before. I had no clue what I was doing, and the other person was a well-known, well-established player with that game, and that was very frustrating. They just ripped me apart, and I had no chance to even mount any kind of attack or even a defense. I was just wiped out completely, and I was kind of like, what was the point of this?
And I find it's bad on both ends of those kinds of matches, because it's not fun if you're the more experienced player and you just rip through it.
He gloated. He gloated on it.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't get enjoyment from that. Let's say I was playing, my brother who's like just not into video games, and I double perfected you in Street Fighter. It's like that's not going to happen. It's like, of course I did. He doesn't play video games. What did you expect to happen? It's like It's not worth bragging about.
It's like that episode of. It's like that episode of South Park when they get the hybrids. Like, good for you.
But no, it's like I love a close match. If I just barely win, I consider that to be the best outcome. Because obviously I want to win, but I don't want to just obliterate it. So the best Pokemon match I ever played was against Zelthor, because that came down to the last Pokemon. And it was only because I managed to survive one hit. If that hit had killed me, I would have lost. But it didn't, and I killed him. It's like, that is the perfect game for me. I want to just barely win.
I had one of those with my kid. We were playing, I think we were just doing like through Pokemon Go. And I hit him with the power move because I save all my shields for the end because he uses them all in the beginning. And I hit him with one power move, did the whole swipe thing. I just threw my phone down. I'm like, it's mine. And he's all kind of pouting. And then he realizes that he's still alive by that one hit point. And I'm just like, and I scrambled for my phone, and he got me. And I was like, I
get a certain amount of enjoyment out of losing too.
I think if I lose, I don't mind losing to him. I just don't like it when he's still at the age where a loss is a big deal. And I'm like, well, it's the loss. You haven't really lost anything.
Yeah,
I can take value in someone else doing a better job than me. I could certainly say, "Wow, that was a fucking amazing. How'd you do that?" I'm not if I put up a decent fight, or even if I'm not even a decent fight, but if I maybe had a chance to make a competition out of it, and he beats me fairly and squarely, or even soundly, that's great because there's a good chance I'm going to learn a lot from that. You know? And then there's always the response that, come and see me in 2 months.
Yeah,
things will be different.
If I lose, as long as I'm happy with my performance, then I'm okay with losing. Like, if I do my best and I think, you know what, I didn't win, but damn, I played well, I'm happy with that. But I would still rather win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just it would be nice to teach him how to be a good winner.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's important.
You really can't teach that.
Yeah.
To a degree.
If the other guy could just say, "Hey, man, that was a good game," and that's enough. Then you're good. It's the gloaters and the shit talkers that I'm not a big fan of. That's why I'm not big on PvP, because if you get into PvP, it's almost always shit talking. Almost every time it's shit talking. It's never good sportsmanship. At least not every time I've ever done it, especially in World of Warcraft.
See, I get in trouble for my opinions towards sportsmanship, because like saying good game at the end of a game at the end of a match, absolutely do that. But like, I think anything goes while you're playing, as long as you're following the letter of the rules, not even the spirit of the rules, the letter of the rules. everything goes. Everything that is permitted by the rules, you should do if you're playing to win. But that's not sporting. I don't care. That's how you win. Do that.
Yeah.
I just seen, especially on Twitch, I see people who go into games playing all nice and happy, but someone will say something that's a little off color. The other person will take it a little bit wrong and say something back that's a little off color, and pretty soon it's drama and a fight. And, oh, I was just joking. I was just shit talking. Yeah, that's usually what very often it ends up hurt feelings. So
that kind of thing. Like I'm in agreement, but like one of the things that I got into an argument with my mother over is I think it was 1980, Australia versus New Zealand in the cricket. They needed New Zealand needed to get 6 runs on the final ball, which means hitting it out of the grounds on the full. So the bowler just bowled it underarm, and obviously there was 0 chance of scoring a 6 that way. And everyone was in an uproar. It was like, he spoke to the umpire before he did it, and the umpire said, technically there is no rule against it. So I think it was the right play. They changed the rules immediately afterwards. But at the time that he did it, there was no rule against it. So I think it was genius of him to even think of it. I think he absolutely should have bowled underarm, and I'm glad that he did.
Fair enough.
That's like walking power hitters in baseball. It's funny to see it happen. Mm-hmm. But when it's against your team, it's like, nah, it's bullshit.
Well, I get that it can be frustrating when someone does that kind of stuff to you, and like it's been done to me, but you can't fault them for doing it. It's how you win.
Yeah, true enough. But guys, I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna go lie down and probably fall asleep here. So probably a good idea to pass around, see if anyone's got any parting thoughts. Johnny, you want to kick us off this time?
Yeah, nothing.
Sad. Terry, what about you?
Do me a favor and don't report Jack Gunsky's stream. I quite enjoy being on it.
Relax, I'm far too lazy for that.
I won't.
Hammer?
My traditional, no matter where you go, there you are.
Very nice. All right. And I would like to thank everyone who came to watch the show tonight, and those who will watch the replay later on. Very much appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show. Join us tomorrow night when Quiz is scheduled to host as per usual. Keep an eye out on Discord and or Twitter for when he will be live. It'll either be on time, early, or late. One of the three.
There are other options, but maybe one of those 3.
We find those are the most popular ones. But until then, thank you guys for coming to hang out with me. Have a good night, y'all. The zoo is closed.
See you later, everyone.
Good night.